After you create the border, then you're going to add the typography on there. So I have Rodman already on there, and you're just going to add 3 effects on it. So the first one will be drop shadow, which you guys are already familiar with. Second one is stroke, which you're already familiar with. And then the last thing is the bevel and emboss. So the bevel and emboss is something new. So this is how you do this. So bevel and emboss, if you double click your layer and FX, the layer style pops up. The bevel and emboss is up here. So if you click on it right now, it's just a plain type or text. Once you click bevel and emboss, it's basically going to create a beveling and embossing effect on there. So right now I have my settings set at 5 right here. So if I increase this, you could see how much that affects your text. And like with anything, just minimal is probably the best application rather than too much, because then it becomes, it's hard to see what's going on. And then the depth allows you to change the depth on there. Soften allows you to soften the beveling. So play around with all of these, as well as smooth. Do you want it to be chisel hard, chisel soft? The style, there's outer bevel, and then there's inner bevel, which I chose. There's emboss, there's pillow emboss. There's a whole bunch of different settings on here that you can do. So play around with all of these, and if you're not sure, you can apply the same thing that I did on mine, which I'll show you, which is this right here. So that's my settings for mine. And it might be different for yours because you're gonna probably use a different typeface on there. And hit OK. So it should, when you're done, your text should look like this. And then you're gonna take the basketball. You're gonna take this basketball resource that I provided for you. You're gonna use that as a clipping mask so that it looks like this. And then I believe I also changed the color of this clipping mask. And to change the color, remember from last assignment, you guys can go to layer, you can go to image up top and adjustments and hue and saturation. And remember, you can change the hue of your text, of your layer, depending on how you engage these draggers right here. You can also, if the colors don't change as much, you can also hit colorize, and that for sure will add some color to your layer. Okay, I'm just gonna check this off because I like how that looks, and click OK. And then lastly, you're gonna put his first name, and same thing, play around with the bevel, emboss, the stroke, and the drop shadow. That way you can start to find ways to make your typography pop out from your page. And that's pretty much it when you're done, okay?